talk about a blast from the past. So today we're going to be making the Yiga mask from Breath of the Wild. Or I guess since I've already done this once before, we could say it's from Age of Calamity. But anyways, stay tuned because this is definitely an upgrade from my first.
Well. As you can see based off the thumbnail, we are revisiting a very old project. This was I want to say my second video released. And I had a comment, or I hope he was a viewer, asking if I would revisit the Yiga mask project to make it where you can see through it. And that's what I'm doing today. I always read my comments, what few I do get, and suggestions I always take in, and like things people want to see me make, let me know, and I'll most likely do it. Of course, I'm doing it a little bit later, but I'm just doing it well, for two reasons. One, I now have the time to do it. I've prototyped and figured out how to do it, so I'm ready to attempt it. And two, I'm in the mood for it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and build something if I'm not motivated to do so, because then it turns out sloppier, as you can see in some of my sloppier projects. I mean, it's just, some of them I do them just to get out a video, and some of them I do them because at the moment I'm very into that particular project. And so today we're going to be revisiting this, and what better way to start than to use the original templates that we used. The Judge Dredd template from Punish Props Academy is what we're going to be using, the same as we did before. And I think, yeah, we've used this in other places too. We used this on Toby's mask from Naruto. And so yeah, we're going to start off with this template, and we're going to go from there and make it where you can see through this mask. So I've showed these templates before, but I'm going to do it again simply because why not? Call it filler, call it whatever you'd like, but we're doing it.
Like I explained, we've been over this step before. It's pretty straightforward and simple. Just cut out your templates, tape them up, cut them out, get them all prepped out so that you can come back and trace it on your foam and cut it out.
So here is our template pieces. You see them there. All the scrap you can just get rid of. So like I said, we cut out the eye holes this time, and now it's time to trace out and cut out our pieces on foam. And to do that, last time, if you remember, we just used the 10mm floor mat foam for the shell itself, which, I mean, made it really solid and rigid, but that's not what we want this time. This time we're gonna go with some 6mm foam just to make it a little bit thinner, so a little bit more sleek,
So I actually do come back later and have to remake this just because I cut too much off of it, and I end up doing it without the eye holes and just cutting those in custom later. But you can still use those eye holes. I just ended up having to redo it and forgot to cut out the eye holes.
You just take it and you just curl it and you heat it and you curve it and get it kind of dome shaped after you heat it. Make sure you heat both sides of it. It makes it easier that way. With thinner foam like this, it doesn't matter as much, but it still never hurts to go ahead and just heat both sides. It will give you a smoother transition curve kind of thing if you do it that way, I've noticed. And it doesn't hurt, it definitely helps it more than it hinders it, So yeah, so you want it to go from this, well, this is already a little curved just because of the rolled foam itself, but you want it to go to more of a spherical shape like that. So we're gonna go ahead and do that with all the other pieces, and then we'll come back and we'll get into contact cementing.
But what did you guys think of the Yiga clan? I thought they were a really cool addition. Like, to be fair, this is my first Zelda experience, Breath of the Wild was, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought the Yiga were a really cool addition. like, is it just me, or like their suits give me like this kind of Deadpool vibe, and kind of the way that Koga acts, Master Koga. But I just always thought they looked really cool. Let me know if you're interested in seeing some more or some weapons and stuff from Breath of the Wild, because I've made a few in the past, just like out of like personal requests from a friend. I made like a traveler's sword and a soldier's broadsword before. But if you'd like to see me make videos on those or other weapons from the game, definitely let me know. And any other game or anime, movie, show, cartoon, anything, if you want to see something, then just let me know. So right here, I will talk about this a little bit. I ended up trimming it up just a little bit, just to trim it and get it nicer shape to it, to shape to my face a little bit better, because as you've seen when we did the Toby mask, the Judge Dredd helmet is like, or template is way too big for my head, so I have to do a lot of custom trimming to it. So we have this stuff. It's just a regular like athletic t-shirt that I got, and if you look, you can kind of see through it just a little bit. So the cool thing is once we lay it over it, they can't see in, but you can see out, and that's what we want. That way it gives the illusion of it being a solid piece, but you're not actually blind samurai style. You're actually able to see through it. So now we just gotta get this all glued to the back and remove as many of the wrinkles as possible to make it look smooth and uniform and nice. Like I said, the main reason I never did this project sooner was simply because I could not think of a way to do it at first, but now, like, when I look at this seems like it's a really simple method, and I was actually really proud of how well I was able to stretch the fabric and have all this, like, the wrinkles and the seams on the back side of it where you don't look, and to where the face of it's nice, stretched, and smooth, and, being able to just see through it, like, I thought this was a really cool little idea, like, it seemed so simple, like, after I figured it out. And then, I don't really have much footage on it, but I took my airbrush and I just added some layers, just coated up some layers of some red paint until it was at a nice saturation, which I was okay with. As you see, I didn't mask off the entire thing because I ran out of masking tape, but I got most of it masked off, and I got it looking decent enough. I'm happy with how it looks. It bled in a few parts, just a few spots, but I'm happy. I gotta say that I think this mask was probably my biggest challenge this year. It was the most difficult and the most intricate, but I think it ended up looking like one of the best of this year. Not the best, but it's definitely one of my better masks. I really like it. I'm really happy how it turns out. Yeah, there were numerous prototypes for this video. That's one right there, but I think altogether, in between the first one I ever made and this finished one here, I think there was like 5 different versions in which I was just prototyping it, trying to figure out how to make it work, and I finally got it to a point in which I was satisfied with. Okay, so here is the mask so far. I mean, there are a few bad spots on it that are pretty rough, but let's see if it'll pick up on camera. But I can see through it. So it's not done. There's still some other pieces we have to add based on the other one we got. But I have a red balaclava. Is that what they're called? Like red balaclava? I actually can see fairly well. Like, I can see everything. I can actually see the screen on the camera a little bit. Like, it's not super detailed, that small or far away, I guess things to do. But I can. It seems pretty good as long as I don't look directly towards the light, and then it kind of fogs it over a little bit. But I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, so I definitely got to talk about these earring ornament pieces. So I recorded these clips, but I don't know what happened to them. I genuinely do not. But I took a 30mm, like the biggest foam dowel I could find. That's the core of everything. And I took like the smallest foam dowel I could get, I cut that in half, and I glued that around it to make the two like rounded bits you see. And then I kind of sanded each of the earring pieces at a bit of a down to like a bit of a point, like not like sharp point, but just like more cone shaped. And then as you see right there for that little like geared looking texture, I was really proud of how I did that. So what I did was I took a foam triangle, I took a foam triangular dowel, and then I glued it around it, and then I ran it on my belt sander just a little bit and sanded it so it was a nice flat spot, and then I just came back in and just carved little V's, like every so, I forget how I split it up, but I just carved little V's all over it till I got the nice little geared kind of ornament decoration piece that I like. And then the little top piece, I kind of just cut another piece of that 30mm dowel, and then like a little like triangular, rounded kind of triangle shape to make the little earpiece mount, and then just took some foam clay and like smoothed out the transition between those two so they look a little more uniform in like one piece. I know I don't explain that very well, but it was a tedious and confusing process, and then I just came back and primed it out with some regular like latex house acrylic paint. I think that's what William Shakespeare used. But here, this was really cool. This was my first time using foam clay. It was neat. Basically what I did is I just made like a bunch of like little like cone kind of claw shapes just in different sizes, and just kind of fit them together and swoop them over a little bit until they look, I felt like the hairpiece should look like.
So I have the hairpiece sculpted. For my first time sculpting, I'm okay with it, but I'm definitely not happy. I wasn't able to blend things the way I wanted to. It seemed like it was just making more mess. So it's definitely something I'm interested in learning more about. But for now, this is all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave this, and this is gonna be our Yiga Mask hairpiece. It still looks better than the first one to me, but I'm not messing with this no more.
And then as you see right there with those earring pieces, I just went out and painted those gold, and then I also painted those brown where they need to be, because they look like they're supposed to be like a yellowish or gold. This gold is a bit too vibrant on camera, but in person it looks really good and it has more of a yellow hue. And then as you've seen, I just came back with some glossy black and I just painted the hair piece, and I tried to keep all the brush strokes following the direction of the hair. It doesn't really pick up on the camera, but it kind of looks. And after that, you kind of glue everything together. And one other little detail is like a little bit of like a rivet, so it looks like a pop rivet or something, or just like a little. I took like the same small foam dowel that I used for the little earring rounded bits, and I just cut off a small section of that to make a little like rivet that connects that looks like it connects the earrings to the mask, and then everything is just I just hot glued it all together like I did the straps.
But if you look at this versus this, I think this is a big improvement. There's definitely some things I would change with this one. And there are some things I liked a little better about. No, I lied. This one's better in all ways, and I'm really happy. There still are some things I would change, like the hair piece. I would have liked to have learned a little more about that, but that was my first time sculpting. The earring pieces, they don't really like hug under my face like this one does, so I would change that maybe. But other than that, just get the logo a little bit better. Maybe get a shirt, have it printed on there, and then just cut out around that to then glue it on. Maybe make the eye holes a little bit bigger, and then maybe build it to where I can have a little, because it pushes on my nose pretty hard, so have some support for that. But other than that, I'm really happy with this. So thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next one.